This is Epic Book Recaps, a podcast that offers complimentary audio summaries of influential nonfiction books, making learning a smarter experience. The 80-20 Principle by Richard Koch. The totally tubular 80-20 principle is like everywhere, man. Some peeps call it the Pareto principle, named after the OG dude Vilfredo Pareto who discovered it first. Pareto was all about studying how the moolah was spread out in different countries. And guess what? He found out that just a small group of peeps controlled most of the cash flow. Mind-blowing, right? This got him super stoked to study it more and see how consistent it was. But here's the thing. Pareto was a smarty pants, but even he didn't fully understand it. Other peeps stumbled upon the principle on their own without even checking out Pareto's stuff. These smarty pants economists and researchers have helped shape the principle into what we know today. Now peeps who get the 80-20 concept use it to be mega productive in their personal and work lives. And now it's your turn, dude. But hold up, what does this 80-20 principle even mean? It's simple, man. It's all about how a small amount of effort leads to most of the results. So, only a few things actually make a huge impact. Just like how a small group controls most of the world's bling, only a few students ace their classes. If you take a sec to look around, you'll see the Pareto principle in action. Life is totally unbalanced, bro. Cause and effect never have a perfect 50-50 ratio. But here's the deal. The 80-20 principle doesn't mean that exactly 80% of results come from 20% of actions. The percentages can be all over the place, but what's consistent is that a few key steps matter the most. Knowing this will help you focus on what really counts. So let's say a company wants to boost sales. They got to pay attention to the 20% of customers that make the biggest purchases. They can get creative and find ways to keep those peeps happy. They can also come up with new strategies to market to the other 80%. But they won't know any of this if they don't take the time to see how the 80-20 thing applies to their biz. Soon, you'll see how the 80-20 principle can help you rock it in the corporate world and your personal life. Let's get this party started. Did you know, dude? Vilfredo Pareto dropped the Pareto principle on us in 1906. Pretty rad, right? In the world of business, it's all about the moolah, baby. Every company wants to rake in those sweet, sweet profits. But let's face it, sometimes these businesses stumble upon avoidable setbacks, and it's just plain sad. But fear not, my friend. The wondrous 80-20 principle might just be your ticket to sniffing out those pesky loopholes in your biz. It's like having a secret weapon in your arsenal, but with a dash of analytical nerdiness. Here's a super simplified guide to get you started on this epic adventure. First things first, take a chill pill and examine 3 crucial components of your business: your products, your customers, and your market position. How many products are you slinging out in a given time frame? And more importantly, how much moolah are they bringing in? Next up, let's dive into the world of customers. Who are the cool cats that can't get enough of your stuff? And on the flip side, who are the ones who couldn't care less? Brace yourself, because you might just discover that a tiny percentage of your customers are carrying the entire weight of your profit train. But don't stop there, my friend. Take it a step further and figure out why this is happening. Are the top 20% of customers rolling in cash while the rest are living on ramen noodles? Or is it a case of your products not tickling the fancy of the bottom 80%? Jot down all these juicy details for future reference. Now let's talk about your market share. It's like staking your claim in the wild west of commerce. Analyze where you stand in the grand scheme of things. And here's a wild thought. Maybe find some creative ways to maximize your products, boost sales, and increase those sweet, sweet profits. One genius idea is to pour your energy into wowing the top 20% while minimizing losses from the bottom 80%. It's like giving the VIP treatment to the creme de la creme of customers. Oh, and don't forget to keep an eye on your competitors. Are they peddling the same goods as you? Are they stealing your thunder in the market? You better figure out what makes them so dang irresistible and come up with a master plan to snatch that sweet market share away from their clutches. Remember, my entrepreneurial amigo, the things that truly matter should never be overshadowed by the things that matter least. So, strap on your business boots, dive into the data, and rock that market like there's no tomorrow. Now go forth and conquer. So here's the dealio, my pals. You're running a business, right? And guess what? Your customers are choosing you over your competitors. Hooray! Now, that's got to mean something, right? So figure out why they love you so much and keep them happy. That's the secret sauce to growing your biz. Now pay attention, my friends. Once you've found those top-notch customers, you got to keep them close. But hey, don't forget about the rest of your market, okay? You can expand, but don't go all crazy and forget about your OG customers, all right? Oh, and here's a little tip for you. Those top customers, yeah, they should totally influence your marketing strategy. Give them some extra love and attention, and you won't have to stress about wasting your marketing moolah. It'll all pay off, my peeps. All right, listen up. Sales and marketing are like peanut butter and jelly. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other, my friends. So, make sure your sales team is on point, all right? A weak sales team is a no-no, even if your products or services are as cool as a cucumber. Now, here's a fun fact for you. Less than half of your sales team is probably bringing in most of the sales. Crazy, right? So, find those rockstar salespeople and give them some major props. And hey, figure out their secret sauce too. It could be a killer strategy or some seriously smooth talking skills. Can you teach those skills to the underperforming bunch? If yes, get an expert to help them out. Or better yet, ask the top guns to help you recruit some more like them. And don't be afraid to say bye-bye to the underperformers, my buddies. It's business after all. You gotta maximize those profits with the creme de la creme, not waste time and money on folks who ain't bringing in the bacon. Capish? So there you have it, folks. Go out there, rock your business, and make those customers swoon. But remember, always keep it funny and fabulous. Cheers! To really, truly, and absolutely nail the 80-20 rule, you gotta wrap your head around the fact that our world is totally out of whack. But hey, that's just how it is, baby. Then, you gotta embrace the 80-20 mindset. We're talking about some serious brain power here, folks. Nobody can do this thinking for you because it's all about your personal life. You know yourself better than anyone else, even your own coach. You can't even explain it to them in a way that they'll get it. So, 80-20 thinking is all about you, my friend. But don't worry, it's not too hard. When it comes to using your time wisely with the 80-20 rule, it's all about coming up with clever ways to get the most out of your time. Like seriously, 80% of your results come from just 20% of your time. Talk to the super productive people out there, and they'll tell you they could be productive all day, every day. We all have those moments when we're on fire. If you haven't figured out your most productive moments yet, don't fret. I've got a little exercise for you. Think back to the last time you felt like a productivity superhero. Now think of 2 more days when you were on top of the world. Just a little insurance so we can be extra sure about this. Once you've identified those 3 super productive days, it's time to dig deep and figure out why and when you were so dang productive. Were you working in the dead of night? Or were you an early bird? What happened the day before that set you up for success? How did you handle distractions? Write it all down, my friend. Look for patterns that can guide you towards productivity paradise. Take a moment to reflect on those glorious days and figure out what you did differently. Then, my friend, do it again the next day. Keep that productivity train chugging along. Oh, and guess what? You can use a similar exercise to boost your happiness levels. Grab 2 blank sheets of paper and label one happiness island and the other achievement island. On the happiness island, jot down all the things that made you feel like a giddy little kid on those joyful occasions. Do the same for the achievement island. It might require some serious soul searching, but it's totally worth it. Trust me, you'll uncover some precious gems that'll become your secret weapons of productivity. But here's a little tip, my friend. As you go on this magical journey, try your best not to blame others for your unhappiness or lack of productivity. Pointing fingers won't get you anywhere. It's all about taking charge and making progress on your own terms. You got this. Who needs relationships anyways? Life is totally meant to be lived in isolation. I mean, who needs people by their sides? It's not like we're social creatures or anything. Ha! Let's take a lesson from nature, shall we? You were just magically plopped into this world with no parents, siblings, or childhood friends. Yep, that's right. You didn't know anything about life until you were like, what? 5? Totally proves that we don't need people, right? Oh, and relationships totally don't influence who you become. Nope, not at all. Ignore that saying about becoming like the people you hang around. If your friends are all millionaires, there's no way you'll ever become one. And if they're all broke, well, you're definitely going to end up broke too. No doubt about it. But hey, at least you have the power to choose who you hang around with, besides your family. So go ahead and pick your significant other, best friends, and all those other people in your life. Make sure to choose wisely, because apparently it's super important. And get this, there's this thing called the 80-20 rule that applies to relationships. Basically, you can have as many friends as you want, but only a few can be close friends. Like 20% of your relationships will give you 80% of the value. It's some weird math thing, don't ask me to explain it. But basically, you're limited in the number of close relationships you can have. So choose wisely or something. Oh, and if you're wondering how many relationships you should have, this guy Robert recommends having like 6 or 7 professional relationships. Because apparently, that's the magic number. 1 with someone you admire, a few with reliable peers, and 1 or 2 with mentees you'll pour your life into. It's all about balance, people. And if you want your relationships to work, there are 5 important attributes. You both have to enjoy each other's company, respect each other, have shared experiences, give and take, and trust each other. Easy peasy, right? So there you have it. Relationships are totally overrated. Who needs them? Live in isolation, my friends. For the majority of folks, having a fabulous lifestyle seems about as likely as finding a unicorn at the end of a rainbow. And why is that? Well, it's because most of these people are stuck in a rut, thanks to their limiting beliefs. They despise their jobs, their relationships are about as exciting as watching paint dry, and their bank accounts are as empty as a donut shop after a police raid. But for some reason, they can't seem to do anything to change their sorry situation. Then there's another group of people who have no clue what they want out of life. They just go through the motions like a robot on autopilot, taking whatever life throws their way. Talk about being clueless. Now, if you happen to fall into either of these categories, don't beat yourself up about it. But here's the deal. You can actually have the life of your dreams. Yes, seriously. To make your dreams a reality, you need to know exactly what those dreams look like. Grab a pen and some paper, or whip out your fancy digital notepad and start jotting down every single thing you want in life. Go wild. Be as detailed as a detective on a case, and hey, who do you know that's already living this dream life? What did they do to get there? And what the heck are they doing that you're not doing? Success always leaves a trail of blueprints, my friend. Now let's talk about the dreaded topic of careers. We all gotta work, right? At least until we win the lottery or stumble upon a hidden treasure chest. But here's the thing. It's not about hating work itself, it's about being stuck in a job that's as mismatched as socks in a laundromat. Too many people are forcing themselves into careers that just don't fit their lives, and they're too stubborn to make a change. If you find yourself in a job you loathe, but it pays the bills, don't worry, you're not doomed. Just make sure you have an escape plan. Let's say you secretly aspire to be a famous author instead of crunching numbers as an accountant. Now, quitting your day job right away might not be the smartest move. Instead, you can keep grinding away at the accounting firm while building your writing career on the side. If you stay consistent and dedicated long enough, there will come a day when the money from your writing gigs will be enough to support you. When that magical moment arrives, save up some extra cash from your accounting job if you haven't already blown it all on snacks, and then make your grand exit. Remember, don't get stuck in a career that makes you want to run for the hills without a solid plan to escape. Now, as much as work and careers matter, It's equally important to have a balanced life. You need to be happy in all aspects of your existence. If you're feeling like something is missing, like a puzzle piece hiding under the couch, it's time to apply some 80-20 thinking and bring harmony back into your life. If you're killing it at work, but your love life is about as exciting as watching grass grow, then it's time to give that some attention. If your health is taking a nosedive, put everything else on pause and focus on getting back in shape. The bottom line is, don't live a lopsided life. Let every area of your existence be in good shape. That's the key to true happiness, my friend. And if others can do it, so can you. So, my dear friend, remember this: those who seize the day are the ones who end up swimming in piles of dough. Time to grab life by the horns and start stacking those bills. The magical 80-20 principle is all about focusing on the top 20% of things that actually get results and totally ignoring the bottom 80%. It's like nature's way of saying, hey, let's balance this out, shall we? So when you neglect the bottom 80%, you're basically giving someone else the opportunity to shine and live their best life. Let's say you're a boss and you decide to invest more in the star employees who bring in the big bucks. Eventually, you might have to bid adieu to those less productive workers. But fear not, my friend, because this is actually a win-win situation. Those laid-off workers might suddenly realize that their true calling lies elsewhere and go on a journey of self-discovery. It's like a light bulb moment for them. Sure, it might not happen every time, but think about all the great people who wouldn't have become great if they hadn't been pushed out of their comfort zones. Now let's have some fun with the 80-20 principle in time management. Grab a piece of paper and jot down all the things that made your most productive days, well, productive. Did you wake up at the crack of dawn? Did you have a heavenly night's sleep before? How did you conquer the evil distraction of social media? Write down all the quirky little tricks and tips that worked for you and create your very own productivity and time management template. It's like building your own secret weapon for getting things done. So go forth and conquer the world, my friend, armed with the hilarious wisdom of the 80-20 principle.